Everybody want to focus on the Philadelphia 76ers, Doc Rivers, Ben Simmons, and all of that other stuff. You know what I'm focused on? What the hell happened across the river? That's what I'm focused on. Brooklyn, stand up. KD, Kyrie, James Harden, home, just like the rest of us. That's what the hell is on my mind right now. Not to say that the other stuff ain't on my mind, because it is. And it's bad enough that's on my mind with Molly and Max here. But I'm being touched by magic this morning. Get ready, y'all. First takes in the house. Let's go.
Both teams in a win-go-home situation.
Something that most people think, a lot more at stake, obviously.
Game 7 is what everybody wants.
Oh, baby, a right hand jam. We're starting to get some pace.
Floats for Capella, who grabs and flushes. Fires a long three.
And that might be the Sixers season.
This team is special, man. Winning this building, Game 7, it's huge for us.
Good day, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. We have a 5-time champion, a Hall of Famer, a business mogul. He can dress and a smile that lights up any room. Irvin Magic Johnson, so good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you for coming to the East Coast for a hot second for us. You'll be with us the entire show.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, too. My brother. Well, you know, you called, bro. I'm here, man. Come on, man. And I feel you. Good to see you, Max.
You too, Magic, always.
And dressed for the occasion. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. Stephen A. teased it. Let's do this. We ready? We ready?
Oh, hell
okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want to start in the East Coast? Because I can do that. All right.
Let's do that.
We start with last night's elimination game. The Hawks were too much for the Sixers and advanced to face the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. This series has been all about Trae Young and Joel Embiid. Embiid putting up 31, 11, and 3, but it wasn't enough. Ben Simmons, meanwhile, struggled. 5 points, 8 boards, and 11 assists in that pivotal play where Simmons turned down a scoring opportunity inside and passed the ball to Thibault. Joel, talk to me.
I don't know how to say it, but I thought the turning point was just, we had an open shot, and we made one free throw, and we missed the other, and then they came down and scored, and we didn't get a good possession on the other end, and Trae came back and he made a 3, and then from there down 4, and then it's on me. I turn the ball over and try to make something happen from the perimeter. But I thought that was a turning point.
Doc, do you think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
Gentlemen, pay attention to these numbers, will you? So not Doc Rivers' best coaching effort. His fourth straight game 7 losses are tied for the longest such streak in NBA history. His 29 losses with an opportunity to clinch a series are the most among all head coaches. Rivers has an NBA worst 341 win percentage in such situations. Magic, you are up first. Who looks worse here? Is it Doc or Ben Simmons?
Well, it's definitely Ben Simmons. Doc doesn't play. So we have to remember Doc has won a championship, so he knows what he's doing. Listen, when you're the second best player on your team and we say, hey, he's a star, he's been an all-star, you got to perform like one. And Ben Simmons did not do that. He wasn't aggressive. But the Sixers lost this series in Game 5. If they had won Game 5, they would have won this series. But they lost the series when Coach McMillan of the Hawks did that hacker Simmons, and they couldn't go to the free throw line and hit those free throws, and that's where they lost this series. And then he lost his confidence in Game 5 as well, right? And so now it's time for a new destination and a new place for Ben Simmons. It'll be great for him. It'll be great for the organization. Rich Paul's got to go out and do his thing as his agent to get him in a place where he can thrive, get his confidence back. Hopefully there's a star at another team who needs a change of scenery as well, and bring that person into Philly. Fan base loves the Sixers in Philly, and this man can talk about that more than I can. I played against the Sixers twice, so I know that fan base. They love the Sixers, and talk radio this morning is probably talking about getting Simmons out of there. Mm-hmm. Doc Rivers prepared the team, but he can't shoot free throws. He can't knock down shots.
First of all, here's the deal. There is no excusing what's going on with Doc Rivers. I love the man personally and professionally. But there have been several collapses on his watch. And this weekend is particularly devastating because the Los Angeles Clippers won a Game 7 and went to the conference finals for the first time in franchise history in Ty Lue's first year. And he did it the last 3 games without Kawhi Leonard.
Go look up Ty Lue when he's down in a series or when it's on the line.
I got you. The point is that you consider what Ty Lue did in year 1 and that Doc Rivers didn't do it in 7 years. And then on the same weekend, you lose a Game 7 to an Atlanta Hawks team most people thought that you were supposed to beat. This is not a good day for Doc Rivers, number one.
Yep.
But having said all of that, I roll with my man Magic Johnson. Ben Simmons has got to go. He's 24 years of age. He's a star talent.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Ben Simmons should be given up on because he's some scrub or anything like that. It goes to what you pointed out, Magic. I know Philly.
Yeah.
I worked there for 17 years. I was a columnist for my last time. Let me tell you something right now. That city ain't going to ever forgive him for what they have seen. And here's why. Not just that he missed shots. He didn't take them.
Yeah.
See, when you see the Greek freak in Milwaukee miss or make, he takes them. Ben Simmons is literally scared to shoot the basketball. He gave up a wide open dunk because he anticipated he was going to be fouled and didn't want to go to the free throw line. 34% shooting in the postseason. For anybody who's attempted 70 or more, it's the worst free throw percentage shooting in the history of basketball. It is the league Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal played in.
Right.
And they shot better for the free throw line than Ben Simmons. This is very, very bad. And when you take that into consideration, and you combine that with the fact that Philadelphia being a very unforgiving town, and they don't know how to let off and lay off, and they're going to constantly berate him, and it's mental.
Yeah.
With him, I don't believe he can overcome that, Max. In the city of Philadelphia, you got to move him. I'm going to say it right here on national television. Try and get yourself somebody like C.J. McCollum. Mm-hmm. Bring him to Philly. Send Ben Simmons to Portland. Because with all the perimeter guys they have in Damian Lillard, it would work.
That's how bad his trade value has been diminished. Now it's like, can you get C.J. McCollum for Ben Simmons?
It was 4 years, $140 million.
Ben Simmons cannot be fixed in Philadelphia. I agree with you. And by the way, the Philly fans get such a bad rap for riding guys. How were they with Markelle Fultz? When he was going through problems, that city supported him. Any little positive thing he could do, they're doing the same thing for Ben Simmons. The city's behind him. He just let him down. I think it's over for him. They support him. I think it's over for Ben Simmons in Philly. Can Doc be fixed in Philly? I agree with you both. Ben Simmons got to go. Can Doc be fixed in Philly? Look at what just happened. Look, you're right, Magic. He's already shown he can win a championship. With a big three in a league that didn't have any other big three. They were the only one, got one. Collapsed, more playoff collapses, the stats have been going around, et cetera, et cetera. And I love Doc Rivers. I loved him as a point guard for the Knicks. But we have to be honest about this. You can't play Dwight Howard in that game. Or Shake Milton. Like, those guys can't see the floor. He went 10 deep in a Game 7. Think about what was happening in that game early on. Dudes who were getting cooked. Like, this is just coaching stuff. Gallinari was cooking George Hill. Cooking him. Seth Curry was getting cooked by Herter, right? And then they're playing a backcourt of Trae Young and Lou Will. You got to punish that. Offensively, you have to. They can't play defense. You got to punish
But with who? Who are you going to punish him with?
Well, if Tobias Harris would be nice if he showed up.
Okay, but that didn't happen. Danny Green hurt. His injury hurt the Sixers. So you can't judge Doc Rivers until Danny Green is in that lineup. But this is it. You talked about last season. Doc Rivers wasn't playing against the Denver Nuggets. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George didn't show up in Game 7. Jamal Murray outscored both of those superstars. One man did, right? So that's not Doc's fault. Same thing here. Listen, Ben Simmons got to take ownership and say, listen, this is what's going on out here. I know Embiid's going to give me 30. I got to get at least 20 to 25 for us to win.
What do you get for Ben Simmons? And who should want him?
Well, a solid player. McCollum would be great because he can shoot. He'll stretch the floor. He can play alongside.
And he ain't scared to shoot.
Exactly.
Stephen A., who do you think should want Simmons?
I just said Portland. I think a team like Portland with the perimeter players and the style of play that they have, not to mention the fact that their Achilles heel is defense.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons doesn't have
Great,
that.
I think he's the best defender in the league.
He can defend anybody. But let me also add this. Here's what I will, again, you're right about Doc Rivers. Here's what to point to, though. Seth Curry is a damn good basketball player, and we've been very pleased by what we've seen from him. He's undersized against Herter. You know it, you see it,
I'm saying.
you do very little about it. You gotta. I understand Trae Young is a threat, but Trae Young was 4'22" before he hit from the damn logo in the last minute or so. Okay, Herter's hurting you all game long.
Right.
At some point in time, you got to make that decision. Get off of him. If you got to double up to get the ball out of his hands and force somebody else to shoot, disrupt their rhythm, do something, as opposed to keeping the undersized Curry on.
Stephen A. Magic, you guys are right about Ben Simmons. There's no argument. I'm just saying Doc can't slide. Like Brett Brown, you were calling, and you take that very seriously. You're not calling for people's job, but you said you have to take a long, hard look at Brett Brown after a certain amount of time, right? He never got out-coached like that.
Oh, hell yes, he did.
No, not like that.
He did.
In a game 7
Magic,
like that?
Magic is here, so he didn't get to game 7, okay? But what I'm saying, other than Toronto, Magic's here, so I'm not going to get into it. But hell yes, he did.
Doc
Rivers,
Brown. Doc Rivers just got out-coached as bad as you can get out-coached.
No, he got out-coached. Yeah.
In game 7, we always look for a hero, right, on either side. And Herter happens to be the hero for the Atlanta Hawks.
When he's matched up with a 5'2" guy.
Yeah, but he got it going. You got to give him credit. He got it going. The problem, again, goes back to this. Listen, game 5, that's where they lost it. You can't overlook game 5. See, in a series, the most important games, you got to win. Against a young team like the Hawks, when you have your advantage and you compound them and get the victory, game 5 is where the series was either.
I have a question for you, Magic.
Right.
I have a question for you because the question as to where should Simmons go, to me, hinges on who can get between his ears.
But
there's a problem there.
That's right.
Who do you think is...
And then just a couple of nuggets.
And then we got to get a commercial break.
Somebody mentioned Porzingis. I'm just getting texts literally.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody mentioned Porzingis. I'm not buying that because he's another one that I don't trust. Somebody mentioned Bradley Beal. That's not going to work. The reason why is Washington would never do that deal because Russell Westbrook's problem is shooting. So why would you bring Ben Simmons to add with that? Okay?
No, it's not going to happen.
So you're not going to do that. And then I just got it on good authority. They were watching the game last night in Portland. There's a few people there that would not want Ben Simmons.
You said would not. Yeah.
Would not want Ben Simmons.
So Magic, who could fix
Magic while you were here? They're like, no.
Who could fix his confidence?
Just like you did.
Who could fix his confidence? Like the whole question as to where he goes is who could get to him.
You got to have a veteran sitting there that can hopefully get his confidence back for him, right? And also take the pressure off him. You know who he reminds me of? Iguodala. Same situation in Philly.
Miscast as a 1, yes.
Couldn't live up to the billing. Went to Golden State.
Right.
Great player.
And great player, right? When he was the third guy, no pressure on him.
Well, the biggest problem with him was his initials. See, he was AI, okay? But he came to Philly with the initials AI after the real AI was in the building for 10 years.
One thing about Iguodala, though, he was never scared to shoot.
No,
there was no fear in Iguodala.
But I'm just saying the situation is almost the same where they didn't live up to the billing of being drafted that high, and then he went where he could now be the third of Draymond, Clay, and Steph, and he found a perfect role. So don't give up on Ben Simmons. He's too young, too talented. Just not in Philly. That's all it is.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's all we're saying, just in Philly.
Just work on the free throws a little. Worst percentage ever in the playoffs.
Well, see, this is where young guys, this is where I get upset at young guys. Mm-hmm. You think you're all of that.
And a bag of chips.
That's right.
Your game.
And you haven't been working on your game in the summertime.
That's right.
Ben Simmons, Rich Paul, your agent, got to get you to work on your game all summer.
But maybe he got humble, you know?
That's right.
Sometimes we're picking the grapes, sometimes we're drinking the wine. We've all been there.
And Molly, in the offseason, half of them are in L.A. and Miami. No.
Yep.
You don't
I
need
get
to
the
go
feeling
there. You need to be somewhere else working on your game. Not there.
They're working on their other game.
Can't do it. No. Not Miami and LA. No.
I'm picking up what you're putting putting down. Do you have a Stephen A's list for me? That's what I'm hearing. So despite scoring the most points ever in a Game 7, Kevin Durant bounced from the playoffs on Saturday night. Stephen A has his top 5 reasons why Brooklyn didn't advance. Stephen A's list. You better bring it.
That's right.
You know who did advance? That would be the Suns, and they didn't miss a beat, even without CP3. Just how badly do the Clippers need Kawhi back in order to keep up with Book? First take rolls on.
It's just too many distractions. You can't be going to play.